Yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a tutti.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AJC. Oh, man, I tell you, the green room's got action. The green room's got action, all right? So, yes, a little delayed on the start. Hey, 0-0 game at home to Milan. I literally, late start, you know, how come this hasn't started yet? I literally have just come out of the coma this game put me into, okay? It was pretty drab affair for the most part, but we will cover it all. There's more, and the biggest news, and obviously the thumbnail tells it all, like really the news out of it, and what I was gathering, kind of going through yesterday, is that big changes are coming. It's more than just the big news coming from Skira and DiMarzio, both kind of going all in on this max out thing, whatnot. But there's a lot more behind the scenes, and it involves players that we're also going to look at today in the aftermath. But I got Anthony, I got Omer. Fellas, you ready to rock or what? Omer swatting flies in here in the green room. I don't know. He's pulling off his shoe or his slipper. I don't know what the hell's going on there.
No, I just heard spider. Yeah, we're all safe now.
There you go. We're getting everybody into the live here, and Dell saying missed the game, but judge from people's reaction. Tweet of the game. I didn't miss much. Yeah, no, you really didn't.
I think.
Did we ready for Motta? And
did we select the tweet of the match? I think you did. There was only one.
There was really only one, and it's I do have it.
Is it
that
the
was
one
really
I sent?
the only one. What's that?
Is it the one I sent? I haven't seen.
Luca tagged it first, I think.
I don't actually think I know which ones you talk about. I thought I only saw the one I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait.
Anywho, we'll get time to that. Now, we got to go through this game. The good news is that won't take us long, so there's probably going to be a healthy Storm the Barn session there going. And, we're going to have some fun here with Storm the Barn and all the news of Motta and what I'll tell you about what I'm hearing about everything kind of behind the scenes, everybody, all right? So get those likes up. If you're tuning into this on your audio outlets, get over to YouTube. It's where all your extra content is, okay? And subscribe. You guys, reminder, ways to support. Super Chat, obviously enabled. The merch store. We got a bunch of new designs coming out in the next week or so. So look forward to unveiling those for all of you. And then, again, just simply sharing the content, okay? Thank you to everybody for all the ways that you guys support us. Now, Juve Milan, we had our starting lineup here, and the only real thing that was really in question was what he was doing with Cambiaso Weah on the right side going into that, but it's more to utilize Cambiaso in the middle of the pitch, and at the back was all the same. So Szczesny, Gatti, Bremer, Danilo. You've got Weah, Cambiaso, that right side, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kostic, and then Yildiz getting the start ahead of Chiesa. With Vlahovic there. So Omer and I obviously did the pre-match and everything. So Anth, what was your take on Chiesa not starting this game?
Pretty much par for the course. What Max does now doesn't surprise me. So let's see how it worked. Milan was a little bit depleted, and it turned out before the game there. I don't know.
Even Magnon couldn't even play, and Sportiello had to come in.
That, So I was okay with the lineup. As it turns out, it kind of worked out in negating Leao's game. So I thought I was okay with it. Let's see how it rolls. I thought it was okay.
There you go. I was very into the fact of getting Cambiaso and his abilities in the middle of the park. Keeps being a sore spot, whatever. At least he's trying to do something there. Weah for pace with Leao made sense from that point of view. Slow him down, at least stay with him until help could come. So, yeah, and it actually did end up playing out that way. So, credit to him in that sense. Now we get to the highlights. 7th minute, Vlahovic does very well here at the top of the area, shielding the ball, actually turning on his man and everything, cuts back to his strong foot, but the shot, way too close to Sportiello. Way too close to Sportiello, right at him. Easy stop there. 22nd minute. Cambiaso working well. Coming off from the right side there, cuts inside, but an absolute muffin of a shot and just wide of Sportiello's goal. 31st minute. Probably one of Milan's only real good chances in the first half. And this was Florenzi with a shot from the parking lot, for God's sakes. That was always going high and wide, driving that thing. We end the first half with a nice free kick from Vlahovic that almost fooled Sportiello. But he did take a step in behind his wall, expecting Vlahovic to go over the wall. He didn't. He cut it back to the back post there, and Sportiello did enough to direct that away from goal. That kind of ends our first half on that note. I just thought it was a pretty drab first half overall. I mean, I think the tempo in which we tried to move for the opening of the half was pretty good. But then there was like just a big lull and not enough. Like, we just weren't asking them enough questions. And maybe it goes to the beginning of Chiesa playing out there. And maybe, just maybe, you needed Yildiz and Chiesa out there. And you just need to tip the scale a little bit more and put a team that's got a makeshift backline under. But
you're talking crazy.
I thought it was a pretty drab first half, you guys. 5 attempts for both teams. No big chances. Like, what'd you guys think of the first half?
Omer?
Well, let's start with my bar. Like, I didn't thought Juventus were bad. I actually thought they were quite good in that match. But it's all relative to what we've seen in the past 2 months. That was a better Juve against a depleted Milan, and unluckily for us, Malik Chow and Sportiello had the games of their lives. But some notable players like Wea, the work he did on Leao, he was great, actually, defensively. Offensively, not that much, but defensively, I was impressed with him. Cambiaso stepping into the midfield, and suddenly he looks like our best midfielder. Like, tells a lot about him and about our midfield. 24-year-old guy, easily adapts to whatever role he's given. He's smart tactically. He's got the dribbling, even the passing. Like, our midfield looked different, very different from what we usually see. And not a whole lot besides that. Yeah, why wasn't Chiesa starting? Why not starting your best players in an important game? Those are questions for Max and for the reporters. I have no idea why. But we did limit Milan to 0 shots on target, and that went on all game. So some credit to the defense as well. Yeah.
I think the Peacocks agree with you.
The Peacocks 100% agree with you.
Tony, what did you think of that first half?
I'm with Omer on this one. I thought there was a bit more energy. I see what you're saying, Al. It was like drab, but with more energy. It was weird. It was like, you guys are showing us something, which is great, but there's the final pass. When I was running the main yesterday, I said this on there. It's that final pass. Like, we were getting there. We were getting to the final third. It's just it just wasn't clicking. Now, credit to Milan's defense. They were basically shutting down our only goal scorer. And I think that was their game plan. Take Dusan out of it, and then let's see what these other idiots can do. Obviously, nothing was the answer. I was okay with the first half. I was like, I think we're going to sneak one here. I think we're going to sneak a goal here.
Man, I just think it's still not enough. There's the same usual suspects. It's the same usual suspects, and it's just that decision making in the final third that just it's brutal. And Kostic, for God's sake, spraying that thing absolutely everywhere, but usually where it needed to go. I don't know, man. Rabiot, I thought was just sad. Like, I just think it was sad, man. I don't know.
Kostic put a couple in there that were. He put one along the ground that was perfect, right in the penalty spot, but there was nobody there. He had a couple good ones yesterday.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Is when there's nobody there is where he's putting the ball.
Yeah.
But
No,
like
yeah,
I
he's
seen that in
crossing.
the midfield 3 times yesterday, like within a span of 6 minutes, and both times we just like have to surrender and go back into a defensive state because he's literally playing this ball inside. There is nobody there. It's wild to me. You got
Yeah.
Rabiot taking shots that look like he picked up a baguette and swung it at the ball. They're so weak
Here
and
we go.
shitty. I don't know.
Here we
Okay,
go. Here we go with the cultural references.
I'm
Oh my
done with
god.
these guys. I'm kind of done with these guys. We're
You
going to get
sure?
more on the players later. Second
Let's
half,
get to the second half. There we go.
49th minute, a shot from Kostic. Hey, good shot. Okay, short side. Sportiello makes a save. I don't know what the hell he was doing on this rebound, but he managed to get the job done because Danilo couldn't put this rebound home from very, very close range. So
Did the rebound hit
Sportiello
his
with the
face or the post?
No, his face. It's like
His
his
face.
hand and his face.
Was it hand? I thought it was his foot because he put his legs out in a weird way and Danilo
Either
clipped
Maybe it was
way.
that
his
and then it
foot.
went
He
back to
was
his face.
flailing on the
Either way.
ground like a fish, maybe.
Yeah, he was just flailing at this thing, but he finds a way to keep it out ultimately, and
Yeah.
Danilo's
Well, that's
left with his
tough
arms up in
angle.
the air.
That wasn't
Loftus
an easy
Cheek.
angle.
Loftus Cheek, several minutes after this one, this has a shot that's like, I thought was going to go in. And I was like, serves us right. Again, going back to while you may feel that it was all right in the first half, it just isn't because this is a game you have to take control of. You're not going to see a Milan side this beatable in most circumstances.
True.
And you're at home. Get the job done. If this goes in from Loftus Cheek, I don't think we even get a draw in this game.
If
To
that
be
ball
honest,
was on net, I don't think Tech was getting to it.
I don't think Tech was getting to this shot if it goes in, and it just barely edges out. And this is my problem with this team: is just waiting to really dial it up. That's how I would best describe my frustrations with the first half. We weren't dialing anything up, really going at them and really putting them under. And I think we should have at least learned that while there are sacrifices on the roster, how did we get the results earlier on? Giuntoli hit it right on the fucking head like, what, a week ago. 140%. Max effort, but like actually sending, like being driven forward, putting everything into it. Without that, if you're trying to dial that down and then you have your roster gaps in there, I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So Loftus Cheek, we get lucky with that one going wide. And then 72nd minute, Chiesa does well on the sideline here, man. And he puts a beauty cross
God.
in. Milik gets stopped by Sportiello there. Yeah, that one hurt.
Right, that's because
in there.
Dusan got subbed out in the 61st minute. That's right. Okay.
We'll talk about Vlahovic and the sub there and everything. And actually, let's get into it now. In live chat, how'd you guys feel about Vlahovic getting subbed? Omer, Anth, subbing off Vlahovic.
Well, getting subbed, yeah, it's always annoying. That's kind of the feeling you go into every game. Someone's going to get subbed in the 60th minute, and it's one of our better players. It's either Chiesa, Dusan, or Yildiz. You know that's coming. Like you know who's going to stay on the pitch for 90 minutes, no matter how they perform. But I thought Dusan, something about his play, maybe recently, maybe not recently, he looks very nervous when he has the ball at his feet. He takes a long time to decide where to pass it. He's like going berserk. He's throwing his arms everywhere. I don't know. Something's weird about his hold-up play, and it's relatively new. He wasn't always like that. But I didn't think he had a good, like, it wasn't one of his better games. In my opinion, I thought he lost a lot of balls.
So you were okay with subbing him off? Okay.
No, I wanted him to stay. I mean, we have Milik and Keane on the bench. I'd rather have Zaza and Llorente on the bench right now. So, yeah, I'd take him for 90 minutes ahead of everyone we have.
Yeah. And Anth, your thoughts?
So I had to write this down. 13 points in 13 games, right? In those 13 games, we've had 7 goal scorers plus an own goal. We won't count the own goal. Dusan has 5 goals, and we have 6 goal scorers with 1. He's the only one putting the ball in the back of the net. You can say what he wants. Maybe he was having a bit of an off game yesterday. I thought he played well, considering he was getting manhandled by their defense. He's getting double teamed, triple teamed. I thought his hold up play was fine. I thought his attitude was fine. Everyone keeps complaining about his attitude. I thought his attitude was fine again. He's our only goal scorer. It's a 0-0 game at home. Max, what the fuck are you doing, Max? He's our only fucking goal scorer. Why are you taking him out?
Yeah.
I mean, without him, what position are we? 8th, 9th in the league?
Oh, you take his goals out of it's this term, and it's not even funny, you guys. It
He's
isn't
the
even
difference
funny.
between right now. He's the difference between us and Fiorentina, maybe. Like that's the only significant difference. His goals is what is the reason we're still in third and not just down the table
He has
competing for whatever.
34% of our goals. He has
Yeah.
over a third of our goals.
My problem is
And we
not
don't have a lot of goals.
again. My problem was not Vlahovic. Like my problem was that step getting there again, and the decision makers in and around there. I love Cambiaso. I think I rate him highly. But even him, the decisions were not there. And you touched on it, Omer, with some of Dušan's attitude and some of the things that he was calling out there. He's calling certain guys out on what they're doing and the decisions that were coming. He called out Gatti. He called out Cambiaso. He was calling out, I think, Weah a couple times. I have more issues there. And for me, I probably would have looked again at getting those 3 guys up there just with more time and to see. And you've got a suspect backline there. Chiesa comes on in the immediately after for Kostic though. So we do see those 3 for a period of time. And then, like I say, you start getting Chiesa cooking. And you get a chance there. And you still have these other guys that are there. But Milik's on now rather than Vlahovic. So you don't really get all 3 of them. But you could have. You could have done it. You still... he gives you a bit, but he takes a bit too. And it's this reluctance to just go all in. Just go all in and get after it. But we have to keep fucking around. All right. McKennie came in the 71st minute for Weah. Miretti ends up coming in the 82nd minute for Yildiz. And after that opportunity from Milik, we got one more. 84th minute, it's Chiesa again. This time putting it back post. McKennie puts it right back in towards the mixer. A little bit of a scramble. Falls at Rabiot. Tap that fucker home. But Malik Chia comes over and finds a way to block this out. And 0-0. There we go. It's just infuriating, you guys. What are we talking about here? 2 wins in 13 games.
Yep.
It's broken. It's broken on many accounts. And now, in the aftermath of this game, you got a lot of shit coming out, okay? This one's frustrating because it was a very, very winnable match, and it would have went a long way in locking things up for us. Earlier on in this chat, we see that Animesh said, where was it here, that if with these performances, I don't see how we even get 6 points from the next 5 games to guarantee Champions League.
The magic number is 8 with Atalanta. Any combination of... So, after yesterday... What happened?
Nothing. I'm just...
I thought Luca was coming in. I thought you were saying that someone else coming. So, with Atalanta's game today, any combination of points we gain and points lost by Atalanta adding up to 8.
Okay.
And Atalanta has, 6 games left? They got to win 3 of 6?
Because they got 1 up on us for games, yeah. So it's not pretty. It's not pretty. And there's a lot... They're just fucking around, man. They're just fucking around. They're blowing this. A change should have been made a while ago to try and get some type of stimulation. This thing is flatlined. It's flatlined right now from this team.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've already zipped up the body
is
bag.
the problem with the stat is that it gets worse every week we sit here.
Oh yeah.
We thought it was ridiculous, like 2 wins and 7. Now, how many do we have? I'm not even following. It's
It's
pretty
2
sad.
wins in 13. 1,
2
2,
wins and
3,
13.
2
4,
wins in
5.
Come on,
13 games, guys.
That's
7
relegation
draws.
form.
2 wins, 7
Absolutely.
Relegation
draws.
form.
Absolutely it is. I don't even
Yeah.
understand. Like, we're running out of things to say right now. Like, you're running out of things to say to explain what the hell on earth is going on. Now, if we're looking at this, okay, you're this Juventus side. Do you think there are players right now actively going through the motions at Juventus? Not fully committed. Right now, like when you're watching this team perform, what are some of the things that go through your mind? Is anybody thinking that maybe some guys are going through motions?
Yeah, possibly.
All right.
Possibly. I
They're
mean,
trying not to get injured.
it's hard to say like that
Yeah.
they're giving their all, that everyone is 200% committed and throw themselves on the field for the team. You can't say that. So the other option is some are just going through the motion. Maybe it's just all those negative feelings ramping up. I mean, it does affect them to some degree. The poor form, the guys that do put in the work and end up on the losing side every match. It's frustrating. I mean, Dusan was furious with Gatti and his shot because it's annoying. Every game they're making the runs, they're sprinting, they're joining the attack, they're waiting for the ball, and someone just screws the attack by making a dumb decision, and attack after attack after attack. It gets frustrating and it gets everyone angry, and it doesn't look like they're interested. It looks like an angry bunch running on the field, needing a goal to give them a little bit of hope, which isn't coming for a while
Yeah.
now.
Remember when we hit that rock bottom point last season? And I said I highly doubt that Max gets the turnaround. He did. We finished off the season. We had a brutal start, finished off strong. I still said last summer, make the change because it's just not feeling right, whatever. Into this season, how many times can we ask and expect the change to happen, the change to come around? How many times can you ask that question? Like, it's too difficult. In the sports world, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the sports fucking realm, I have never seen any manager have that many opportunities to take something that has reached a boiling point back up. I've never seen. We're talking about, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 fucking times. 4 fucking times of a boiling point within a 3-year span. I have never in any sport I've followed, seen a manager have that many opportunities while that's happening with him, no matter what the outside circumstances are. I've never seen it. And have you ever seen that?
No, I said that in the last time I was on here. Maybe in cricket, because that's the only sport I really don't follow. Other than that, there is no way any manager survives this. It's no matter what point of the season we're in or what tournaments we're in, or it's
now
2 wins in 13 games is
no. It's do you remember any team getting themselves into a position where they can't afford to sack their coach? That's the sad thing about it. Because if they could, they would have done it. No way they would have given him that much faith. But somehow they do. I mean, I haven't seen. I don't remember seeing a team this broke that they can afford to sack their manager.
I'm sorry, but you've already qualified for something that is more than enough to get just to wipe the slate. right? But
Yeah.
right now what they're doing is playing a dangerous, dangerous game. And I'm going to get into the details of what I'm kind of hearing. First, though, we have to get a couple pieces of business out of the way, okay? So number one, the AJC tweet of the match.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very simple. Logatelli here.
This
Paint
one was awesome.
watches Allegri dry.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
I sent that
It
in the
was
group
awesome.
chat. Yeah, this one had me.
It's very, very good. Very, very good.
Well, we can say that at least during the games, at least Twitter is fun.
Oh my God. The
It's
Matrix is the
interesting.
best. It's the best.
Other
lot
than
of
that
memes.
photo somebody did with our Lex there, catching
Oh,
strays on the photo,
no.
put him as that is
was
just
gold.
filthy.
That was gold.
Yeah, that guy needs a day for that. Now, I want to get to this because this caused one hell of a fucking convo in the private WhatsApp group chat on AJC, and it's this. So, these guys coming in here stating that Mr. Allegri, the translation obviously from Italian, Mr. Allegri, you have to stay. The Club World Cup, we want to go there with you. Okay? Listen, this created a stir because there were some in the private chat stating that these are Juventus fans. You guys know that fires me up right away, okay? Because number one, there is absolutely zero fucking pedestal of fandom, okay? There is no tiers of fans. Nobody is better than any of you, any of us when it comes to fans.
Well, I'm better
Period.
than Omer.
Period.
Okay, never mind.
Not even better than the Peacocks. Okay? Now, number two, it was presented as these guys support Juventus. Do they? Do they? So were they supporting Juventus? Were they supporting Juventus when they intimidated people in the stadium to stay silent and make the atmosphere shit until they gained what they wanted back? Was that supporting Juventus? I don't give a fuck. It's the same difference, okay? They're creating a divide. For some reason, it's Max for them rather than the players. One way or another, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. Whether it's fans that are choosing players to be more the problem or Max more the problem, this is the same thing. And I don't abide or create my opinions based on what these guys say, think, or do. And always remember, these are the guys that threaten racial chants at stadium to get what they wanted and held this club that they love and support for ransom. Fuck that.
Where do
Guys.
they get those really long banners? That's my only question. I don't really care what these unemployed assholes think. So, like, where do they get those banners? Like, that's a really long tablecloth. That's the only thing that really I concern myself with.
It's a bunch of nonnas corunas
You want to
or
know
something. I don't know. Whatever.
Forza intern here. Of course, he wants Allegri to stay. You know, all the Inter fans want Allegri to stay. Of course, they do.
This should really say a lot, right there. You know. It's like, what are we talking about here anyway? And everybody's looking at points like this, like, look, they want. Now all of a sudden, we need to look to these guys when they've really been brutal for the atmosphere and everything to get their guys. Like, come on. What are we doing here? Everybody's trying to prove a point. I'll give you the main point. The main point is what's happening at Juventus right now is fucking broken. Period. Okay? They're making a stand for Max. That's the same divide that people are trying to use pro Max, that the guys that aren't with him anymore are trying to do in terms of saying that the players aren't that bad. It's the same difference. There is no right or wrong. The truth is, it's a bunch of the players. And now we're going to get into what I'm hearing behind the scenes because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So
before we get into the behind the scenes thing, Tech 100 clean sheets yesterday. That was his 100th clean sheet for Juventus.
Oh,
Congratulations, Tech.
I'm gonna bake a pie.
What kind of pie? Love pie.
Shit pie. That's what this team deserves.
Dude, why gotta go there?
Like
Come on.
we have
Okay.
one nice thing from yesterday, and then you got
You're
you and
gonna
the
bake a
peacock.
Okay,
shit
okay.
pie. Your
Oh my
wife's gonna
god,
make you
Um,
bake a shit
you're the
pie.
worst.
no, if my wife saw me put shit in the blender, I'll be homeless the next day. No, I'm kidding. Bravo to Tech. That's great
Thank you.
from him. Great stat. Yeah, he's been one of the more steady players in this team. As far as complaints go, like he's not in the top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, credit to him.
Congratulations, Tech. I'm happy for you.
Go smoke some butts, buddy.
Yeah.
You'll get your your cake in the mail.
Now, this is it. This
Okay,
is the
sorry.
thing here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing that one of the main causes of turmoil kind of behind the scenes is the fact that management is so hush hush. Like, I'm thinking that players right now, this is what I'm getting, is that they're looking for some type of answer in terms of what's to come. Some guys are looking for guarantees. Some guys are looking for money. I know, Omer, we're going to get into players, their circumstance and everything, but management is not letting anything out. And you know what? Rightfully so. You're a player. Do your job. Don't worry. That's our decision what happens. You don't need to know what our game plan is. Get the job done right now. Mm-hmm. You're in the middle of these objectives to tackle. And you know what? I'm sorry, almost everybody is available for me in terms of making an offer and could be shopped. Enough's enough. How do you guys feel about the rumors that players wanted, their players apparently needing more information from management in terms of what's going on? How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, it's one of the more annoying aspects of football these days, that players sort of hold teams by the balls and just make them do what they want, and players get involved in the politics behind the scenes. It's not something that's happening only at Juve. We just don't have any players who actually justify it. But yeah, it's Mbappe talking to the Prime Minister of France, convincing him to stay. I mean, those are the type of stuff that get just ridiculous. It has nothing to do with football. Like you said, you get a salary to go out there and play football and win matches. No one pays you to get answers on what the team are planning next, what the management plans. No, just go out there and play your football. That's the most basic thing there is. You get a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hating this trend of players becoming too big and too involved with what's going on.
Yeah. Now, the flip side, LJJ saying, put yourself in a player position and judge. That's how I think.
That's where I was gonna go. I see what you guys are saying, but you can't completely fault a player to say, like, listen, do I gotta move? Like, if it's a player saying, listen, let's be straight up. Am I on the chopping block? If it's something like that, okay. But if it's players like demanding what's going on, I need, I think it's all in the context of what the conversations are. I get what you're saying. Like, players just go out and play. You play well, you're gonna stay. I get it. But if there's like side conversations with, agents or players, hey, am I gonna be sticking around? You got to uproot yourself. There's a little bit of like the human aspect to this.
Yeah,
That,
but I always
changing where you are. But if you play on the
I
field,
always look at
if you put it out on the field, you shouldn't have to go anywhere. I get that. But if it depends on the context of the conversations.
But at the same time, what gives the majority of these guys this sense that, oh, you need to be filled in on it? Are we serious here? I get what you're saying, because, okay, so are we saying now that why are they asking those questions though? Is it like are they thinking about leaving on their own accord, or is it like hey, I want to leave, etc., whatnot, because
Or I want to
regardless, it's like,
stay.
well, guess what? It ain't happening until June 30th anyways. So let's get the goddamn job done. Why don't you worry about that right now and let me do my job? Okay?
Yeah.
And then
That's
we'll
fair.
talk. Just like guys that are supposed to be vice captains go out and say, well, I'm not going to talk to this team until we get Champions League, whatever. Well, guess what? Finish the
can't-
job against Milan then, for fuck's sakes.
I can't believe you said that. That was
You know?
wild.
You have a
Yeah,
guy that's apparently one of the leaders on this fucking team saying, well, I'm not going to talk until we get Champions League, whatever. Well, then go and win a game out of these 13, for Christ's sake. Be decisive.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah,
That's
you
why
haven't
I can't side with these players right now, man.
told us the names of the guys involved behind the scenes, so I know as much as the chat does, but I'm guessing those guys are first team players who get to play regularly, and the ones that everything surrounds them.
I agree with I'm right here in this comment. Leave it till the end of the season. You have a job to do. If you're letting that affect you right now, it's like it's just one thing after another, you guys. Like since Empoli, like these guys have got to sort it out. And then you get to the managerial position. Because as a coach, if guys are this concerned about what's happening, oh, I need this or I need that, whatever. We heard a while ago, contract discussions are shut down till end of the season. But then you get all these rumors on contract talks, and it's like, well, did we actually shut it down, or no, there's still shit going on? And players are also going to look at that too, because it's like, hey, contract negotiations are shut down. Holy Christ, you put an offer out on Felipe Anderson. You're putting agreement out here on a coach. The rumors are heating up. You've got contract going out to Di Gregorio. So it's like, well, but we can't talk about ours. So I kind of get that side of it. But at the same time, they should just, you can't control the rumors of the Mercado and what's going to happen there. But in-house, shut it all down. And from a coaching perspective, if guys are more concerned about that kind of shit, or their TikToks, their Instagrams, whatever, which is also something else I'm hearing, if that's a case, play somebody else. I don't give a shit. I'm done watching the same guys make the same mistakes and the same struggles, game in, game out, pull someone else. But Max, he's not doing that either. And Max is dying on a hill, because part of these rumors are circumnavigating back to Max and sticking with certain guys and not playing a certain group together, etc. And it all has to do with clicks behind the scenes. And it's ugly. It's messy. I'm not going to get into details because I told you guys the same thing in the team chat. And for everybody in the live chat, Omer and Ant don't know what I got in full yesterday. And the reason I don't want to do that is because sometimes you get a little bit too close and it can affect your fandom. And I don't want to do that to any of you. Okay? But all I could say is that what I heard, okay, came from somebody that there's no doubts. There's no doubts in my mind. That's all I'm going to say. Okay?
Well, even if let's just even if it we don't need to know. You can see it on the field. Like you can visibly see that there's something broken.
And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem for me, because none of what we said is a good excuse to performing the way they do on the pitch. You might be worried about the future and what's going on. It's not an excuse to play badly. I'm not having it. It's ludicrous to think that that's what's navigating the team. What happens with my contract in the future? Before I know that, I wouldn't give my 200% every match. That's ridiculous. I'm not buying it, and it's not an excuse for me.
Yeah.
It's a valid question, but it's not an excuse to perform badly.
Yeah. It's just a mess right now. It's a mess right now. When you hear this kind of stuff going on back there, it's disheartening. It's extremely disheartening. But again, it's evident. And T97 keeper saying, watching that Lazio game was so evident. Everyone was playing on their own island. And when Lazio scored twice, I thought it was over. You could see that there, and I mean, yesterday especially too. Now you get a lot of tension between certain guys going at each other on the pitch and everything. Like it's hit a boiling point. That's all we can really get into. Okay.
The question is, how early did it start? Like, is it something new from the past month, or is it something that's been bubbling under from like December or January?
In terms of what I heard,
Yeah.
this is like 2 weeks.
Oh, so it's recent. Okay.
2 weeks, 3 weeks. And
That
if
makes
you guys
sense.
kind of remember the news on Chiesa and how, he's looking at other things regardless of this 1 year bridge gap renewal, and the club was also going to look, it all kind of stems from that and behind the scenes, and it just flows into other players, and it's messy. It's messy. Essentially, just Giuntoli's got a lot of cleanup to do, but he's not letting any of them. Essentially, what this all comes down to is Giuntoli's not breaking. Like, and that's the one thing that came out of all this news. I said, well, Giuntoli's got an absolute mess, and they said a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's not telling them anything. There's players looking for reassurances for next year. He's not giving them. There's players looking at, hey, what's the plan going into next season? Not giving them that. He's staying hush, and he says focus on the objectives. And that's what I'm getting is coming from the top down. And I actually agree with them on that. But the problem in the locker room is players are looking for things coming from management, and they're not getting it. So take that for whatever you will. I'm not going to elaborate any further, but it's a mess. It's a mess. Motta. Nico Schira dropping the hammer like shortly after the game, saying that no.
He's tripling down.
Yeah, he's DiMarzio coming in, doubling down, saying there is no chance Allegri remains. Okay?
Heard that
now
last
you
year.
have Schira saying that, what was it, a 2-year or a 3-year contract with an option?
2026 with an option.
And to 27, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2 plus an option for a third.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
Guys, if we did this, I actually, let's just talk about Motta in general. The pros for me are, like, the question still is asked, is he going to still be able to find success with Juventus? Is it too soon for us to make a move like this for Motta?
It is a gamble in the end. You never know how those coaches that do well for smaller clubs will do when they're having a tougher schedule, a tougher team, tougher personalities to manage. But we evidently need that. I mean, yeah, Max is an all-time veteran, one of the best Juve coaches in history, and he can't manage that. So maybe we do need something new. Maybe it is the players, maybe it is the attitude. It could be a lot of stuff, but we've seen Allegri for the past 3 years. If anyone is satisfied and enjoys what he's seeing, good for you. I wish I could have sat down and enjoy what I'm seeing, but I'm not. And just watch Bologna. If I was a Bologna fan, I was ecstatic. I mean, it's fun to watch them. The games are balanced. They're basically 2 points behind us now, 3 points, with
3
allegedly worse team. So if Motta can pull that off, he can do better at Juve. I don't want to guarantee anything. I can't, but it does seem like the right move.
So You see the obvious concerns that's come up a couple times here in the chat, and that is that Trey G is saying that I know this question goes against a popular excitement, but Bologna has the same goals scored and goals against in the league as Allegri. What is the excitement truly about? Bologna scoring 48 times. We've scored 47 times. They've allowed 26. We've allowed 26. What is the general excitement about? It's the fact that, number one, they haven't seen a drought like us in 13 games. Okay. That's number one. They are potentially going to be 1 point behind us. So they're right there with us. So I understand overall what's the excitement about. The excitement would be the fact that he's doing the same thing we're doing with a 120 million salary side. He's doing it with a 30 million euro side.
I think what's getting overlooked here as well is, he's a young coach with fresh ideas who can probably relate to players more. Again, Max is going into our Hall of Fame. He's already in there, right? Thanks for your service, Max. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we're even seeing it in sports over here. These older coaches just can't, and I'm not saying this is why things are going bad in the change room. I'm just saying it's a turnover in sports. These older coaches in some leagues they just can't relate to younger players, and it's okay to bring in younger coaches. Is it a gamble? Yes, it was a gamble to bring Max back a second time. How'd that work out?
Yeah,
0 trophies. So Motta has to win 1 trophy to have a better showing than Max's second time around.
The theory is essentially, again, fresh ideas, but like if you're looking at these guys, Max Allegri had a comment, and it was a very, very interesting one post match here, and it had to do with how he was kind of mentored in terms of the guy he worked with and never getting into formations. Okay, and it's very, very funny. By the way, DiMarzio doubling down that Xerxes is the target for Motta's Juventus. So, hey, I'm with it. That's a separate conversation we'll get into in a bit here. But Allegri spoke, essentially about being brought up and never speaking of formations. And it had to do with technical players and everything. And I'm a lover of technically skilled players raised under Gaglione who never spoke to me about formations, solely about individual technique. This question should be directed to the club, etc., because it was a question of how he sees his Juventus.
Yeah, so I don't want to coach players to be better. I just want better players who can do what I need. Don't improve anybody. Just give me the best.
And that is essentially how you take this. Like, number one, okay, so you're not factoring in formation. Probably the reason I've been screaming forever about a 2-man pivot, whatever, and we never see it truly, truly dialed in with the right guy ahead.
Didn't that come up in the news the other day? It was like
it did come up that next year it could be 4-2-3-1 if Motta's the guy that comes in, and Locatelli would be one of the 2-man pivots in trying to get him kind of
you've only been saying that for 2 years.
But this is one of the things with Motta, for those that are saying, well, look, their numbers are the same as us. Number one, you have a roster that is guys that nobody was really thinking much of going into the season. They finished, 9th last season, okay? And now it's working. Flexible with formations, Motta. Works 3 this season. Cycles around 2, depending on the players he has. Okay, defensive stability while still having good ideas in attack. But the biggest one, too, is that he actually maps out his game plans. When you watch Bologna play, if they want to shut down and get wide, they do that. If they want to get narrow and create tighter passing triangles, they do that. But the thing is you could see what he wants to do against every opponent. Can we say the same right now at Juventus? Game in, game out, that we could see a clear, direct plan of how we want to hurt our opponent.
Absolutely not.
I see plug and play.
Absolutely not. Just cross it and hope someone gets to it. That's the main plan. Yeah, I mean, if you look at points and just look at stats, goal scored, goal conceded, blah blah blah, that tells half the story. Watch the matches, watch Bologna play. Look how organized it is, how everyone knows where to be, when to move. The just short, quick passing. I mean, it's miles different than the way we play. We may manage to be where we are because we have better players, maybe, but just like everything you said about Max right now,
Yeah.
it's just you can't keep doing the same thing you learned in the 90s. It doesn't work anymore. That's the reason why and Mourinho and yourself are just under the microscope all the time, and every job you take you end up just leaving on a sour note.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can't have that anymore.
No. You can't. I mean, again, Anthony and I said, like, and we're the older lads around. If you can't think of one, and I can't think of one that's had this many recovery attempts in a 3-year span, like it's time to pull the plug. The roster, we're gonna get into the roster and everything right now in terms of what we expect from players leaving and everything, because more to what I was getting yesterday from behind the scenes is that there could be more actually outgoing than we even think. And it could be a massive house clean from Giuntoli. There's a lot of agitation coming from this representative in the words he was speaking about Juve. But we got to tackle a little bit of business real quick here, everybody, okay? Like the video while you're all in here. Like the video. I do have to tend to this, though, real quick here.
Oh, my God.
So when are you want your congratulations? Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way so we can continue.
Give it to
Here's
him.
your fucking congratulations, all right? There's your congratulations. All right?
A mile away.
9 straight. I saw your little guard of honor that Torino gave you walking out. Yeah, we didn't get one in 9 straight. Happy you guys got it on your 19th, though, okay? We know it's always been amici di nessuno, okay? So, suck it, and let's get rolling. Players.
But we wish the
expected to
fans all the best, not the team. We love people. We don't love that team. That's what it is. We're happy you're happy, but your team can go suck it. That's well done, Berto. Well done.
Thank you. DX was a staple in high school there. Oh man.
God, that was awesome.
Yeah, they were great. Now, what'd the Peacocks think of that one, the old DX?
That battalion of peacocks I have here, I have no idea what they want.
Imagine if Peacock did the
Now,
suck it sign. That would be amazing.
Annoying
Give
animal.
me the players you think are leaving this summer. Omer.
Other than the obvious ones. Sandro's an obvious one.
No, everybody. Give me the list of guys you actually believe truly are leaving this summer from this current roster.
Omer, let's do it as a team. So Sandro's gone.
Yeah, Sandro's out, Rabiot's out.
Agreed.
Kostic, I think, is definitely out.
Kostic, agreed.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean towards McKennie leaving.
Oh, I disagree with that one. I think he stays.
I actually hope he stays, but recent reports have been that they haven't reached an agreement and he's on his way out. Defense, maybe Bremer.
Okay.
Maybe. Ealing Jr., I don't believe he'll stay. Miretti has to leave.
Miretti needs a loan.
Either a loan or sell him, but
Okay.
yeah.
Keep
But
going.
yeah, Caviglia probably leaves too.
Is he still a player in our team?
He's somewhere.
I think Way is gone.
We're not going to see him in that Coppa Italia final for Locatelli. Alexandro's going to take up the regista role.
Yeah.
Breaking news, everybody.
Perrine, I believe, is leaving.
Perrine.
Yeah, and the Chile,
We
no
say we
way.
said Weah, right?
I don't think Well leaves. I think he gets
Oh,
another chance. I think he
interesting.
deserves another chance. But we'll wait and see. So that's my list.
Keen,
That is
Keen.
9 players from a 23-man roster.
Hang on, is Keen on there?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, you can
Keen.
add Keenan Milik.
I think Milik stays. I don't see a reason why we need to sell Milik. I
Keen,
think he
Milik,
stays.
okay.
Yeah. Good luck selling those guys, by the way.
Swarit's got a
I
short
agree.
list here. Sandro, Rabiot, Kostic, Keane, DeCilio, Sule.
You son of a bitch bringing up to Sheila. You leave him
Milik,
out of
Keane,
this.
DeCilio, Sandro, Kostic, Illing, Rabiot, McKennie, Bremer, and Perrine. We're all very, very close. Now,
I think
think
Sule
about
stays.
this list and add. So Bremer is on this. Add potentially another one of those big three, a Chiesa or
Chiesa,
Vlahovic, to that list.
Dushan
Okay?
stays. Double his salary.
And this is one of the things I was told to potentially expect.
That list,
Expect that much of a house cleaning. And it said expect more integration coming. So a guy like Sule potentially not being sold. So again,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We gave like
Sule
11 names,
Sule
but
sticking
the guys will
around,
come back.
Barnechea coming in, making your moves for Di Gregorio, for Calafiori. There's a lot of talk about Xerxes and whatnot. I actually think Xerxes could play with Vlahovic, and in a 4-2-3-1, I think it could
I do
actually
too. I
work.
do
But
too.
it'll be very interesting. I don't understand. Like, I'm not buying it. Number one, I'm not actually buying this amount of a turnover
that's a
could happen
massive
with
turnover.
it. It can't. It just can't.
Mm-mm.
So I'm not buying it. But this is what's been floating around there with this many, and I'm
But,
just like, I'm not buying it. You
but,
have more
hang on.
competitions. I just can't see us staying competitive enough.
Okay, now listen. Realistically, just be competitive in Serie A next year. That's the only goal. And Coppa Italia, Champions League.
Yeah.
We're not going to win it. Let's get serious. If you're bringing in a new coach, let's just look at it this way. If you're bringing in a new coach, the bigger the reset, and if you're sticking to a new coach for 2 to 3 years, right, you got to give him
Yeah.
what he wants. And if it's a complete reset, that is probably the biggest reset I've ever seen any team do. Fair enough.
It can
But
happen. It can happen.
and the one thing that team is missing is 30-year-olds. There's
Yeah.
no you need, and that means, guess what? Well, people don't want to hear it, but buckle up. That means Pogba's staying. Pogba will be back. Not as a starter.
No. No.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
No.
Pogba is going to be on this roster next year. You better fucking book it right now. Pogba will be on the roster.
No, he's
He's
not.
gonna become our social media manager
Okay,
before he
let's
becomes
just
a
mark
player
this
back on the
down.
pitch.
April 28th. You jabronis didn't believe me. April 28th.
Wait,
Pogba will be on the
where's
roster in 2024.
where's the
2020.
bet you had? Where does it stand? The bet you guys had?
I
Was
got
it 30
18 minutes still. I'm in an
14, you
18.
son of a bitch. It's 14.
18. It's 18.
How much has he played?
There's stoppage time, for Christ's sake. 18 minutes. An 18-minute lead. DeCilio can't play 18 minutes. This Pogba thing is ridiculous. There's no chance. No
For people
chance.
who don't know, I
So-
bet at the beginning of the year that ACL lists
We got to cue the Vince McMahon
Shit.
music. No chance.
No
that
chance in hell.
DeCilio without an ACL was going to play more minutes than Pogba this season, and I'm right there. He has
Yeah,
to beat
but-
52 minutes.
But those 4 years went by fast, huh? I mean, he still has to get out of the trouble he's in. No, come on, it's not realistic. You need to have buyers in order to sell, and a lot of these players
Mhm.
don't inspire. I mean, what do you go off by with Keane? You want to offer him, here's our guy. He's a striker, and he has 0 goals and 0 assists in this past season. Who wants him? And like, who will line up? Who will pay for him more than $1 million? How much would you pay for Keane today?
8,
For Moise Keane,
10.
Yeah.
He's
Like
still young.
imagine he had that season at Milan, and now you want to buy him for some reason.
10 million.
15.
Oh,
15
15,
to
that's a
18,
lot.
man, is what we should be probably realistic with, man.
Well, no one's gonna pay that. I think
15
that's.
bunches, 15 million
Somebody
bunches of
will
corn.
pay something. Okay.
Tell you what, if Jundali manages to get 18 million for this version of Keane, build a statue today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck, we took 38 when we brought him back. I mean, fuck, we're knocking it less than half down. I mean,
And bring Motta
surely
back.
we can get that.
Bring Motta
He's
back on a
gotten
loan.
worse,
Oh my
didn't
god.
he?
Champions League.
Now,
Yeah.
one of the
Champions League.
things that was coming up here before we get to Storm the Barn is Vlahovic scenario, and it keeps coming up every time Xerxes, because for a while there, we've been led to believe forget about Xerxes. Forget about him.
40
And
million?
Vlahovic is the guy. Would you make that change if it wasn't the two of them together? You had to say goodbye to Dusan to bring in Xerxes. Would you do it, yes or no?
As much as it pains me to say it, yeah, I might. If that's the only option, I might. I mean, a lot depending on the numbers and stuff and what it means for the club, but I don't know. What we have right now doesn't work. Yeah, we're always talking about it's not only Allegri, it is the players, and they have faults in this too. Well, someone's going to pay the price, along with Allegri.
Huh.
It's not limited. It might be Dushan, and if it's Motta, then yeah, bring him Xerxes. He already proved he can play with him, knows how to utilize him. Then I'll be sort of fine. I don't want Dushan gone, but if that's the case, I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah. And
Duchan and Tech are the only two players I wouldn't sell on this team. Anybody else can get the hell out of here.
Cambiasso?
I don't give a shit. Is that Dusan? No. Dusan, I would not sell
You
him.
would sell
anything.
Cambiasso, really?
I would
Yildiz.
sell everybody except Dusan.
Wow.
If it's a full rebuild, you got to start somewhere, and you start with him.
My thing is, I'm not totally against this trade-off if it was gonna go down. I'm not gonna. I almost don't want to just go all in for this Malta, like, oh, we have to recreate this exact Bologna thing for it's like, no,
Exactly.
like part of this Malta thing is fresh new ideas and everything, and like do we just need to take this literal Bologna side and move it here? No, like you have to also adapt to our guys and everything like that. And I'm still of the belief that it's been very, very difficult to truly judge quite a few characters on this Juve side, especially during this past ridiculousness from when we were right up there with the leaders. It's been extremely difficult from an evaluation type scenario. So for me, looking at this team, I could be alone on this, but my point still stands from yesterday, Omer, when I said I actually think he's the beating heart of Juve.
Oh,
And
he definitely is.
you could get some of your guys, Motta, but we're not going to bring your whole gang fucking over, okay? So
No.
I'm kind of more leaning towards no, although I maybe look at a scenario where you have both. Because
I that's what I wish. I wish we
that's
had
like
both.
that's my wish too, is let's find a way to get both of those guys.
But now we need a favor from Bayern. Look, I don't think a cleanup this big will take one Mercato. That's the thing. Like they're planning to get rid of all those players. I doubt they manage to sell all of these guys or even loan in one summer. But that's okay. That's football. Maybe you need more than one transfer market to rebuild a team. So I'm not saying it happening, but it does give some indication of the general plan that Juve has.
Juve did a good cleanup last year. Like he he got rid of some dead weight last year, quite a bit of it. Now, he only brought in one player, fair enough, but he did get rid of a lot.
So. Yeah, but not like in attractive prices. I mean, Rovella was the big loss of that summer. Paredes was on loan. Di Maria wasn't even sold. His contract ended.
Anthony shows anger today. I love that.
Well, what are we talking about?
Fucking Vlahovic and Tech's gonna keep the same salary with Anthony. We're gonna fucking lock him up to 2039.
There we go.
Let's go. 2039, Tech and Sigs, baby. Let's go.
56-year-old goalkeeper. There we go.
Tech and Sigs. Okay, we got to have some fun now with Storm the Barn, all right? So Swarik says, if Roma draws tonight against Napoli and we draw against them next week, will a victory against Salernitana secure? Please calculate.
No.
No, it still wouldn't.
It doesn't matter what Rome does.
Calculator guy.
No, he's too busy, the calculator guy, because he's an Inter fan, eating cheesies in mommy's basement.
Oh, God, cheesies. No.
I didn't realize that's a Canadian thing, Anth. I didn't realize our American friends had no idea what the hell cheesies were. I was like, guys, what are you talking about here?
Isn't it just the Canadian version of Cheetos?
Well, yeah, it's like the same thing, but ours are, crispy.
Oh, fluffier. Oh, yeah.
Theirs are like puffs.
Like cheese sticks.
They're just puffs.
Yeah.
Just like,
right.
They're
like mixed up. Anyway.
They're just colored styrofoam. And then ours are actually crispy, crunchy,
with the crispy
nice
sticks. Yes.
With real cheddar, by the way, up here in Canada. States over there with their spray paint. I don't know what they do to those things.
Eric, we know you don't understand. Don't worry about it, bud.
Yeah, we call cheeses the smell of your feet when you take your shoes off.
Oh my God!
Oh, for God's sake, dude, shit pie. Now this, what's going on
what's
over there?
What's the matter with you? Is everything okay?
Well, you chose violence today, so I'm just going along. Okay,
so
I'm back.
Getting back to the other question, no.
Clever.
The magic number with Rome is 12. So no, a win and a draw. No, we still have a lot of. It's Atalanta we're trying to pull away from.
Sadaj, is there any chance the talks are true about penalizing for violating financial?
Well, this one I sort of laughed at. I this
I told you.
And I was like, Berto, you come on. What's gonna? This is a big joke, but please.
No, it isn't. I told you. I told all of you. I said, what is going to be interesting? I said, because I don't actually expect. Who knows? But I highly, highly doubt anything actually comes from it. But I said the precedent has been set for them to at least treat this properly. If you're going to let the toothless wonders of Napul into a courtroom against us, you have set yourself up to listen to these professional requests asking for just transparency and prove that. So, Siraj, the answer is, I don't think there's any chance anything comes from it. But
probably
they are looking at it to at least give us the answers.
Correct.
Perfect. I told you, you son of a bitch, that should happen.
I thought I was going to get laughed at a court. But that's what happens when you use actual lawyers to write up documents and dossiers for court to be submitted. It kind of helps instead of your barber.
And like I said...
what we learned last year is that everyone they're not Juve fans. I mean, Italy is divided between Juve fans and not Juve fans, and they just appoint people.
Look, you guys.
So I'm not expecting much. But
9 years straight, no guard of honor. If it's not clear or apparent or evident that everybody is fine with a winner as long as it's not Juventus, then I don't know. It will never be clear if it's not clear now. Amici di nessuno.
Exactly. Who cares what the people think?
Okay.
Who cares?
But this is cool because now Juve got, for a team that fights pretty weak for themselves, they got a little bit of a buffer now with this large group of lawyers that all happen to be Juve fans. Hey, I'm cool with them fighting a fight here and there and stirring the pot and creating some issues. And if Serie A looks like a bunch of dipshits at the same time, we've achieved excellence. Let's keep it rocking.
Win.
Yeah. Vedad. Motta versus Allegri. 60-minute Ironman, 2 out of 3 falls match. Young prospect versus former champion, former tactical genius, former Juventus coach. Who wins and in what fashion? My God.
So this would be like a wrestler from the '80s, like let's just say like Ravishing Rick Rude.
Allegri is Ravishing Rick Rude?
You know what I mean? Like someone from the '80s who does like the headlocks
Rowdy
for
Roddy
30
Piper.
minutes, never
He's
goes
not
on the top
rowdy enough
rope.
for rowdy.
Anyways, this would be like a
Iron
wrestler
Sheik.
from the '80s versus
Allegri's
a
like
wrestler
a methodical cheater type wrestler. Okay?
thumb in the eye,
Okay.
Yeah,
like
like
the shorts.
Bret Hitman Hart.
Don't even
No.
you son of a bitch. You don't even put those two in the same sentence.
Motta.
What, Allegri and Hitman?
That's right.
Motta would be the young buck coming in. Like he'd be like a Shawn Michaels. Okay?
Oh yeah,
Be like
that
a
I
Shawn
agree with.
Michaels.
That I agree with.
It's
Man, Allegri is like, I don't know, a cheater from
Allegri
the
would
past.
be like a Jake the Snake is a good call. That
It's like the match where Shawn Michaels ended Ric Flair's career. Same thing. That's what this is. When Shawn Michaels said, "I love you," and then boom, hit him with the what's that?
sweet
kick to the
chin
face?
music,
Sweet
baby.
chin music. Boom,
Yeah, the
knocked him
sweet
out to
chin
pin him. There you go. Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels. That's what this is. It's not even
I love it.
Okay.
End it with sweet chin music.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
Can we
but
get-
first,
can we
for
get
good
those-
measure,
can-
you toss him a chair.
Can someone put that in AI for us with Motta's face on?
Oh,
Michaels. Can we
dude,
get that
big
going?
props. Big props to whoever creates that, okay?
Please, can someone
the
create that for
Motta
us,
sweet chin music.
Oh my god!
Allegri there. Oh god, that's funny. Okay, we're getting
With the same
crossing
props
over
when we
into
need him.
realms here. We got to get back on track here.
Allegri
That's
is a
great.
blonde.
Allegri is Paul Heyman just yelling from outside the ring.
Oh,
Brutus.
the Undertaker
Hey,
guy,
I
wasn't it?
remember Brutus, the barber man.
I
Awesome.
remember the Honky Tonk Man and
Honky
Hulk
Tonk.
Hogan's brother-in-law, cousin. Hulk
yeah, he
Hogan's-
went in on WrestleMania 2001, and Kane broke a guitar on his head and threw him out. It was Royal Rumble. Yeah, in 2001. Yeah, that was awesome.
Hey, you know what? I was at the Buried Alive match between Taker and Stone Cold in Vancouver. I was right in front of the grave, man. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, and The Rock was at the time part of that was the corporation time. He fought Mick Foley. Like, it was a great show. DX was in full throttle. Oh man,
that would've been
great
awesome.
show.
Beautiful times. Those were great times.
Great show.
WWE.
Great show. Taker, and then Austin must have drank 32 beer on top of that freaking skid steer or whatever after they dumped
So
dirt on Taker.
who was your wrestler? Who was your guy always?
To be fair, always Triple H. Triple H was like, when he became the game, I just like, it was even better. But I always loved Austin, The Rock. But when I was really young, Bret Hart. Bret Hart, no doubt. No doubt.
I was always a big Jimmy Superfly Snuka fan growing up.
Nice.
Him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat were my two guys.
Nice.
Yeah. My guys were Kane for a long time and Goldberg. I love Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wasn't
Eddie
laughing
Guerrero,
at that.
Rob
Omer
Van
was
Dam.
laughing at Allegri's Gilbert. Gilbert was one of the funniest bits,
Gilbert
man.
was a beauty. Bob Backlund
Bob.
There he
Oh,
is.
I hated Bob Backlund.
with the crossface chicken wing. What a beauty that guy was.
Okay, sorry, everybody.
Anyways,
Good,
sorry, we
wrestling
digress.
segment.
We're losing watchers here.
Would you take Arda Güler on loan? Heard that he wants to play as a starter in a club, plays both Champions League and Club World Cup. Oh,
That sounds like
absolutely.
cheese. Is that an actual person's name?
Yeah, that's another Turkish
Another
prospect
Turk.
that plays for Real. He was injured early in the season, so he missed a lot, but he came back, I believe, recently. He started playing more. Considered a very, a top talent. Yeah, we can do the same thing we did with Morata back in the day. And I doubt Real would want that, but still, we can try that. He's a good player.
Yeah,
Papa Shango.
I would do it. Okay. You guys you're still hanging on to this wrestling thing. Okay, I got a funny story. I hosted a Halloween party one year, and
Coco Beware.
we did
Yep, sorry.
wrestlers themes. Okay, Buddy showed up as Papa Shango, and I lost
amazing.
my mind. We had a buddy show up as Mean Gene and actually brought a microphone and interviewed people throughout the night, and everybody had to keep character. We kept the promos that we shot. It was gold, man. I had a smoke machine set up, and we played the entrance music, and guys did their entrances, and the girls were having a blast. Like, it was hilarious. But we did the wrestler theme. Papa Shango killed me, man. Killed me.
Many moons ago, my wife went to a wrestling theme party as Scary Sherry. She did the makeup exactly like Scary Sherry. Actually pretty good.
That's intense. That's intense.
And she took all the pictures like this, so it was even better.
Who's your favorite Juve player that isn't a club legend, and why is it Motta? Well, that's Anth right there.
Where is it?
Omer, favorite Juve player that isn't a club legend?
Like an official club legend with a star in the stadium, or just general feeling? Because I had a long time where Camoranesi was my guy. Like, I absolutely loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if he's considered legend or not. I guess out of the guys that went to Serie B with us, he's the one least talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd go with Camoranesi. Unless he's considered a club legend, then I
he is.
Pick someone else.
He's part of the
I would
five
have
samurai.
to say when he's considered a legend. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's up.
Okay. You can throw Tevez. Tevez was a beauty for Juve. You can throw Mandzukic in.
Yeah.
If you want to go further back, like that thing, Edgar Davids, he's a legend.
Too many red cards.
It's hard to say. Giuliano, I mean, a lot of players, I don't know if they're considered legends or not, and they were my favorites for a long time.
Yeah. Anth, favorite player, not a legend?
Oh, just they're all up on the wall here. We can just go down the row. So there's number 9, 21, and 17 right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
7? Come on.
I will say
100 goals in 3 years. Like, what are we talking about? But yeah, I'd go with if I had to pick, I'd go with Mandzukic. I loved every minute of every game he played.
Yeah. I'd probably say Mandzukic. I have a spot for Takinardi, to be honest. I love Big Tak, man. And then who else? Not a club legend.
Turam was a
Tudor was, again, a fan favorite.
Yep.
Yeah, Turam, you could say not a Juve legend. Maybe? No, I don't know.
Did Zambrotta lose his legend status after leaving?
No.
Yeah, pissed a lot.
No.
Shouldn't. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it with those guys.
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Davide wants to pick here. Which players do you think are causing the issue in the dressing room? I'm going to say it like this. I don't think they're causing issues in the dressing room. I think they're collectively sharing frustrations. And, yeah, I don't think it's any of the young guys. Meretti, Caviglia, like it's none of them. Okay?
Well, they never play, so.
It's none of them. It's gonna be the bigger guys. I think a couple of them are actually in that leadership group too. And yeah, there's issues. Not gonna get into it though.
Lichtsteiner, that's a good call.
It's
the Swiss Express.
Legend, man.
Yeah, legend.
I consider him a Juve legend, man. How many? He's got 5 Scudetti with us. Like,
anyone who has between 5 to 7 Scudetti is a legend. Basically,
Pizzoli.
No, anyone that took part. Yeah, Pizzoli is a legend. Paduin, I mean, yeah.
Marchisio, I would consider him a legend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Vieri, he's not a Juve legend. That's a good shout. Not a Juve legend. Could have been
The
player you liked.
Marquisio 20.
You know who else
well,
I'm going to throw in there
jersey is the only one
that I
know.
remembered that I actually did enjoy while he was around is Pipo Inzaghi. Not a Juve legend, but
he's still offside,
Yeah.
by the way.
A lot of fans don't like him that much. They have
I know.
something against him.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's not a bad shout.
Like Antonio has a huge hate for him.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to ask him why. I'll ask him.
Yeah. It's going to be...
we got to get him on.
So we
here.
do have
He's been way too
matches happening right now, obviously. Udinese is 1-0 up on Bologna in the 47th minute. So, Motta, sort your shit out, or you're fired too before you get hired, okay?
So here's a quick one. I know before we get here, because I got other stuff to do, because it's a beautiful day outside. Oh my God. Would you guys take Lewis Ferguson on a cheap? I know he's coming out. He's got that ACL. Because we were honest. You would stay away from that.
Oh. Dog doesn't like that.
Dog
that's for
does
sure.
not want any business.
I know, Ant, you're gonna have a soft spot because he's joined your club on the knee situation there.
Welcome, young man.
Would you do it?
Well, it just depends on I think it's a player that we wanted, and unfortunately, he has this devastating knee injury. But you can probably get him on the cheap for the second half of next season.
No, don't take another rehabilitation case.
Fair enough. Okay.
Stop with that. We tried it. It always backfires. No.
And he still hasn't played Giallo? Yeah, I guess that's the same thing. Still hasn't played.
Yeah.
I would pay $100 to not take Ferguson. Okay.
All right.
So there's a chance, because $100 is not a lot. So there's a chance there.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
You know what? It's going to be...
all right.
Motta losing deliberately. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Look, I don't know what the hell the future holds. I know that Dells is asking why I can't share what I heard and whatnot. I just rather not. Number one, from who it came from. Number two, because it's not fair to some of the fans that don't want to get to that depth.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's just some things are better left kind of there. I'll tell you what. If you guys want, everybody's got me kind of on WhatsApp or has seen the number or whatnot. I can even pop it up one more time. You could reach out. I'll share if you want to hear. And if not, totally cool. We'll do that, okay? But as far as your weekends, lads, I tell you, watched my daughter first academy session yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
5 years old. Does all the drills in this girl blows me away. She has no idea her potential. Okay, she shows up. 5. I was away at a tournament last weekend, so she missed her first session because my wife wasn't feeling well. So I take her to her first session. These kids have had one full round, and then she gets there. She's shy. She hasn't met any of the kids. Just met this trainer. And she's got her finger in her mouth, and she's got her hoodie on, and she's dribbling the ball, and they're doing their drills, and she's dribbling the ball like this, left foot, right foot, the whole time with just her finger in her mouth, just kind of staring at everybody, not looking at the ball, and doing this and like moving around. I'm like, kid, pay attention. Right. Stop worrying about being shy and or embarrassed. I'm like, look at what you're doing right now. You're not even realizing it. And then they do all their drills, and she's just right there with all the kids. And then every time it gets to game time, 3v3, she just doesn't, she won't get involved, won't do anything. And I can't figure it out for the life of me. Can't figure it out for the life of me. But she's devastating when I have her in the backyard or out in the field behind our house. I just can't
She'll
get
figure it out.
Make her tackle someone. She'll fall in love with it immediately, and she'll never look back.
Oh yeah, I know. I need to
just push her over on the ground, make her cry a little bit to tough her up. Maybe that's what you gotta do.
No.
So the funniest part was that the 3v3 session. I can't get her to kind of get into it a whole bunch, and then like She gets the ball at her feet at one point during this thing. She looks up. She's so far away. All these kids at this age are running the ball into the goal. She takes a look up. She drills this thing. She sends a dart of a shot like right into the goal. I'm like, whoa. And like a bunch of the parents are like, hey, and start clapping. She gets embarrassed and cries. And I'm like, oh my God, kid, we need to get the cellies up here.
Yeah.
We got to get the cellies up.
You gotta get the arrows out. Yeah, you gotta get.
I said
sliding on the
Jesus.
knees.
It's pretty cute. It's pretty funny. She'll open up though. She'll get there. It's the first session, so it'll be all good. Had a lot of fun with that, and had the game going on in the background. Thankfully, my daughter kept me entertained there.
Of course.
Yesterday,
I was building a barbecue.
Barbecue. Oh yeah, Napoleon too. Just great barbecues, man. Jesus. God, I love barbecue. I love barbecue like Aunt loves chips. Okay. But we were talking about pies earlier. I don't want to talk about shit pie. Top 3 pies right now. Anth, go.
So I helped my neighbor out with some work at their house. They're an older couple, great people. So as a thank you, the lady who lives next door bakes apple crumble pies. Now, I wasn't like an apple crumble pie person until I moved into this house and discovered this neighbor. There's no second or third anymore. It's apple crisp, apple crumble. Is that what they call it? Apple crumble pies?
Apple
That's the
crumble?
proper name? Oh, my God. She used to put a little bit of rum in it, and then we gave a little bit to Savannah once. We're like, oh, shit, there's rum in there. So we have to tell her to keep the booze out. With the booze, it's better, but apple crumble, that's it. And pumpkin pie for at Thanksgiving.
American Pie 2, American Pie Wedding. Oh,
With
man.
that, well played.
Apple crumble.
Yeah.
That's your top?
And then pumpkin pie second with whipped
I don't
cream
know
on
if
top.
pumpkin
Jesus,
pumpkin's probably my third spot. A standard apple pie for me is top.
Warm is third. Standard apple pie warm with a coffee. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry just talking.
Dude,
about
with
this.
a little with just a nice little bit of ice cream.
Oh, the ice cream that melts on it.
Yeah, because it's a warm piece of pie.
Yes,
Buddy, that's top.
that's very. It's warm apple crumble pie is delicious with rum.
You know?
And ice cream. The ice cream I think is good with any sort of warm.
What do we got for you? Rhubarb, apple, blueberry.
Rhubarb. How old are you, man? This guy's older than me.
Come on,
Rhubarb.
man. Rhubarb? That's good.
Didn't
though.
rhubarb go extinct in the 60s? Rhubarb still a thing?
It's good, man. Like good.
Rhubarb. Get the rhubarb.
Rhubarb's so good. Dude, Ant, you're
What
killing
the
me,
hell
man.
is coconut cream?
What?
Is that a pie? What's coconut cream?
Trim.
Is that a
I think you're in the wrong chat there, buddy. We're not- Oh, man. Good times. Good
key
times.
lime pie? Too sweet. You know, key lime. I could talk about pies all day. I could
Key
talk about
lime,
anything
too
with sugar in
sweet.
it all day.
Too sweet. Doesn't make
It is
my
too
top
sweet.
3.
Ben, you're
Strawberry
becoming
is
an
like
older woman.
been done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apple
You guys,
cream, man.
Yeah, I'm not a pie guy.
well, obviously, if
pie.
you're thinking about shit pie, you're not a pie
I'm not
guy. But
thinking about shit pie. I can bake a shit pie. It's a big difference.
guys-
No, I've never ordered any dessert in any restaurant. I just don't have that extra stomach.
what?
What
Yeah,
is
never.
the matter with you?
A lot of things, but I don't like pies. I don't like desserts that much.
You have to at least order like a creme brulee. Like I know that sucks, but
Oh,
still,
dude,
coffee with a
strawberry
creme brulee?
rhubarb, epic. Oh, I
No.
love it. Love it.
No, I don't order.
Who cares what the Swedish like?
She's my cherry pie. Oh, yeah. Good tune. Good tune.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Too.
guys, wrapping up on that accord. I
Pies,
hope
yes.
you all enjoy the rest of your weekends, okay? We sometimes, if the game's a little drab and life's a little drab, we got to talk about pies. We got to talk about
wrestling.
kids
Wrestling always
soccer.
seems
We got to
fun.
talk about what's going on outside life. It's good. It's good. We had wrestling. We had metal. We had Metallica top 5. We got pies now. What's going to be on the next one? You guys decide, okay? But I had a blast no matter what the games are bringing us. The season's coming to an end. Let's all hope for the objectives to be reached. Hopefully we win that Coppa Italia. My God. Ant is going to have so much mud on his face if we lose to those clowns. It's not even going to be funny. So
we won't.
He guarantees it. He said book it. I don't remember the last time he said book it, but I know
not this year. I haven't said it this season.
All right, book it. Let's see. Good luck. And again, congratulations going out to those clowns. They were looking for their congratulations. I gave it to them. Right here, everybody. Fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Amici di nessuno. Proof is out there every single day. Ride or die, baby. Take care. Ciao.
Yeah.